Welcome back to Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks. I'm Kayla, and today we're joined by Gail Welborn of Habersham EMC to talk all things job interviews. Whether you're interviewing for a new position within the organization you're already with, or you're starting over at another company, the way that you interview matters. From first impressions to questions to ask at the end of the interview, Gail has lots of insights to help you make an awesome impact. Wherever you're at in your journey, whether you're getting ready for your first job interview or you've been doing it a while, this episode is helpful for everyone. So grab a cup of coffee and let's dive in.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us again with Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks, your favorite Chamber Chicks here. I'm Beth.
And I'm Kayla.
And joining us today is our good friend Gail Welborn from Habersham EMC, the HR diva of all things.
Oh my, okay.
Check it.
We've changed her job description.
Sorry about that, Brian. We've already ordered her cards. It's okay. Just don't ask questions, buddy.
Okay.
It's all good. Gosh.
I like it.
Ooh, let's change everybody's at Habersham. Some of you are worried now.
Yes.
Tommy. All good. We love our friends at Habersham EMC. Y'all are always probably the closest business model to ours. So we have a lot in common. So I just love our friends over there. And thank you for joining us today. Because we have some need to know things for our folks out there that are out looking for jobs. We have an amazing jobs board on the Chamber website. So if you're looking for a position, our members are hiring. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to talk to Gail about some things you need to know as you interview. Thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely.
So let's just dive right in. Our first question is about first impressions, right? Because the first question should be about first impressions. So they say that the first impression happens within the first 7 seconds, right? That's super short. Beyond the handshake, what do you think, what do you look for in a candidate when you first meet them?
Do they walk in with some confidence? I get you're going to be nervous in an interview, but are they present and are they engaged? And by that, did they look me in the eye when they shook hands? Did they introduce themselves to each person in the room? How confident were they? Obviously, you've already been selected for the interview because your skills match up on your resume. This time, this is your opportunity to sell yourself. So walk in with some confidence and be present and just fully engaged with whoever's in that room.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. I would say that's probably one of the biggest challenges most employers have, even later on down the road, is just being present and engaged. So
yeah, and even interviews, say you're within the organization and you want to interview for another job, a job opportunity, don't walk in there like you have to be in that interview. You walk in with the attitude that you get to be in that interview, and this is your opportunity to sell yourself. So
it is a good one.
So within the topic of selling yourself and your skills, everyone hates the question, what is your biggest weakness, or some form of that question, and it can feel very awkward, or everyone hates that question for a different reason. But what do you think is maybe the most authentic way to answer that question? Or some people who've done a great, how have people done a great job with that question in your mind?
Well, if anybody does any homework and preparing for how to interview, when they do go interview, they're going to see that question on that list, and they're going to try to rehearse an answer to that. So it's going to be easy to come up with just a short answer to say, I'm a perfectionist, or something just standard, generic. Don't do that. We're not asking those questions because we're trying to identify a perfect person. We know you're not perfect. We know our employees are not perfect. Nobody that we interview is going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a weakness. Mm-hmm. The goal the employer has when asking a question like that is, are you aware of what some weaknesses are, and probably what has been your plan to improve upon those? Mm-hmm. So mainly just being self-aware that, yes, I try to take on too much, and I never say no, or never tell anyone no, because I'm going to prove that I can do everything. Mm-hmm. When really then you start juggling and you don't have the time. So how can you improve, delegate or just do something different? So there's no perfect answer for that question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's a good way to answer it in that you are just self-aware of some things that you can improve upon and what you have done to improve upon
what
it.
a great lead in for that, right?
Yep.
You realize that about yourself.
Yes.
And I know that it's going to take me a while to deal with it, but this
Yes.
is what I'm doing to.
Yes.
I get that.
Because I think then, like, if you don't have and here's how I want to work on it, or here's how I have worked on it, it's like I'm only admitting it's a weakness, like, for this moment, but then I don't care enough about it any other time.
Or they're going to
like,
answer it because you asked the question and you just give an answer and you don't say anything else.
Oh,
And that's kind of like, okay, let's talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it
But a
just
lot of
lays
people-
out there.
A lot of people really don't realize how those weaknesses become strengths and as you improve upon them.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what is your this is our drop dead line in the sand, no matter how great the resume was, there's a behavior that you see in an interview that's just a hard pass when you see it?
Well, kind of similar to number one there is you just don't be disengaged. You've got to be engaged, but walking in like, oh, I got to get this over with, or just not having any energy, being very monotone. But I say nowadays too that cell phones are a big, big distraction. So someone that can't leave their cell phone alone during an interview, or a Zoom
gosh.
call, or a distraction across the room, if you're paying attention to something else because you didn't think about your setting before you started that Zoom call or whatever, that's a distraction for everybody else in there, and you're kind of going to lose it at that point.
Yeah. That's a good point on the Zoom call. A lot of folks are doing virtual interviews. You have to be in a solid place for your
try
Zoom
it
call.
out before you actually get to the interview part.
And maybe with the phone thing, like, maybe just leave it in the car.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
good
don't
idea.
do your Zoom interview while you're driving.
Yeah.
Just a
I
suggestion.
do have a friend. Well, we have the same friend, so you probably have seen that she had said this. Like, someone had done a Zoom interview for a very good job, and they were like on the back porch or something with their dogs barking in the background.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, you couldn't have maybe just stepped inside. I mean,
Right.
why did you have to be? If you're going to put the dogs outside,
Right.
maybe, you be inside. I don't know. During the interview, you
And be mindful of what's behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you
So
have
that's-
unique taste in art that doesn't need to be on your Zoom call.
Yeah. It's true. That's a good one. And then I would also say just bashing or being really negative about a past employer.
Oh, huge red flag,
yes,
right?
definitely a behavior that's kind of like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
And I think
just don't do that.
that, if there's something you need to explain, you can do that without
In a professional manner.
right, and
Yeah.
not have to go down the deep end and get into
Yeah.
the weeds of every possible thing that could have ever transpired at that
Yes.
job.
Yes.
Goodness. Oh,
Absolutely.
I can see how those would be hard nosed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's for me anyway.
Well, I get that. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Looking for reliable, stylish transportation for your next event? Whether it's a wedding, wine tour, or a group outing, Elite Excursions gets you there safely and in style. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We'll handle the rest. Book today and travel the right way with Elite Excursions at www.explorenorthga.com.
So, what is the best question that a candidate has ever asked you at the end of an interview?
At the end of an interview, it's so easy. Most commonly, you get, no, I don't think I have anything. Do ask some questions. I think it's important. But probably the best is, what kind of manager are you? Because now they're interviewing you instead of them interviewing, being the opposite way. Or what are the challenges? If I get this job, what are the challenges in training? Like, what am I going to have a hard time getting through, or what's the hardest part to learn? Because then they're really thinking about what they're going to be as an employee. And I also like, what do you look for in an employee? Because then you see that person's really genuinely interested in success. So those are just great questions, personally.
Yeah.
But I think the one that was, well, what kind of manager are you, kind of was surprising.
Yeah.
because that was kind of bold, right?
Right.
I mean, it's like, yeah,
You're like, oh.
yeah, they're interviewing me. Yeah. So,
Well, and questions around culture. Now, your organization has great culture, but sometimes, sometimes you're right. It's an interview going both ways.
Yes,
am
it
I
is.
going to fit with this company?
yes. The interview should be two-way. The employer is interviewing you to see if you're a good fit, and you should be interviewing them to see if they are a good fit for you. You know what you want to do. So,
Are there any questions you think that folks should not ask or should ask in a, phrase a better way that you've
Or
seen?
at a different time.
Yeah.
It may not be the time at the end of your first interview to
at the
ask.
end of your first interview is not the time to talk about pay and benefits or how much vacation do I get on day one, or if I get this job, are you okay if I take a 2-week vacation in March? These kind of, it's just don't ask those questions yet.
Yeah.
Let the interview process take place and save those questions for a follow-up conversation.
The
Should you-
vacation days one is
That
my
one-
favorite.
Oh,
Like at the high school interviews.
Right.
I know they're trying to come up with a question, but if they're like, how many vacation days do you get? And I'm like, well, you're already thinking about not being here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So save those questions.
Yeah.
Speaking of the process, right? So we've submitted our resume. Maybe we've done a phone interview. Maybe we've done an in-person interview. What do you suggest are best practices for follow-up? Maybe you haven't heard it back from the company in a week or so. What do you think is the best practices for follow-up for?
I want to point out, first of all, what not to do.
Okay.
Don't call the employer every day for a week or leave messages every day, just following up on my resume. Don't even do that before the interview. If you get contacted, you go in and do the interview and do the best you can. Generally, I would say if you've interviewed, and unless they give you a specific deadline, they may say, you know what, this is going to take us 2 weeks. You should hear back from us by whatever date. Respect that deadline or that timeline. But if they don't, then probably wait about a week and do an email follow-up to show your interest. And I would say don't not do one. It is a good time. Do follow-up, but wait at least a week unless they specified a different timeline to follow.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
But do not call unless you're invited to do so.
That's a good point.
Calling every day. That
that seems.
don't do that.
Don't be putting too much pressure or seem too eager.
Yeah.
Because employers are busy and they have a position to fill, but they're also running a business every day too, and there's other regular operations, so it may not be a quick process. And an employer like us, for example, we may get over 200 applications for one member services rep position. So, they may be doing 15, 20 interviews, and that takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. How do you think, or what are some tips, I guess, that folks can do to prepare for an interview?
Know about the company that you're going to be interviewing with. Number one.
Absolutely.
If I ask you, what do you know about Habersham EMC? And all you know is that we're an electric provider.
Or I just saw that there was a job posted.
or I don't really know anything. I got an invitation to apply from Indeed or something. Know about the company that you're applying for, and prepare yourself not just with the general interview questions, but with specific examples, your stories, because your stories actually are proof that you have the experience that you say that you have on your resume. So give them a story, something that you were successful at, a project that you worked on, and already prepare yourself for this story. This is what I did. This is how I went about it, and this was the results. Or this was a big mistake that I made, and
I
this
think
is
that's
how
a
I
completely viable question.
learned from it. So prepare your stories and be prepared to tell those, because again, those stories are proof that you have the experience that you are trying to convey to them.
I love that question. What did you do and it didn't work?
Yeah.
And then what'd you do about it?
Yeah.
I for interviews, I love that question.
Did you
And I
work with a
think not to
team?
be
Did
too
you
general though, because I think sometimes people can be like, "Oh, well, there was a difficult customer and I handled it." Okay, that's not a story. That's like a sentence.
no.
I wanna
Like, you know,
hear it.
elaborate. Tell
No.
how you got.
What
to
was the situation?
Right.
The task that needed to be done. What was the action and the results?
And have you worked with a team? That's a good one
Yeah.
because we've become so separate anymore, right?
Right.
Even though we have a lot of technology, and we feel like we're always on, there are a lot of places there's still that work from home environment where people are not in the office and not working on a team or working on a remote team or things like that. So that's very different challenges.
A great example is just innovation. Like some people don't like to talk in a crowd or they're not willing to share their opinion, but they may have great ideas. But what did you do to share an idea and was it implemented? Have your stories ready because that's going to be the proof.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things that you weren't able to sell on your resume that got you the interview.
Exactly. Yeah, when you're going in for the interview, you've already been selected based on your skill sets just from what you've outlined in the resume. So they pretty much already trust that you have that experience. The interview is really like, are you going to be a good fit for that employer and be able to apply those skill sets in their environment in a positive way?
That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, because you've been on the podcast before, that we always ask our favorite question. What's your because this is Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks. We want to know, what is your go-to coffee order?
Again, my go-to coffee order, it's not about the coffee, it's about the mug. I like a good chunky mug that all 4 fingers will fit in the handle. And, but I'm just a cream and sweetener kind of girl.
Yep.
We have learned that we're kind of in the minority. Not everyone likes coffee. We've had probably over half of our guests on this show, they're like, no coffee.
I like just my 2 cups a day generally. I don't have to have anything fancy, just coffee.
But I agree with you
but
about the mug.
It's always better in a good mug,
Right.
though.
There's something about that mug.
It tastes better. Like
It
when you have a
does.
cute mug, it's just scientifically proven that it
Yes,
tastes better.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
It'd be
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Gail.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me again.
Of course.
We love it.
Yes,
Come on,
yeah.
any old time. We love it.
Yeah, you've been
She's
a
fabulous.
veteran podcast star
That's
with
right.
us. So.
You've been quite the
This is only number 2.
doing the podcast series like
Yeah.
you've done that HEMC. What's
We
yours?
did do
the
one.
current? That's what yours
Yes,
is
we
called.
did that.
The
Mary
Current.
Beth with Habersham EMC.
Yeah. So she's on the podcast circuit. If any of you other podcasters want to have her on.
Check out the Thelma and Louise shot Mary Beth created for our podcast headline.
Very good.
Well, thank you so much. And thank
Thanks,
y'all
Gail.
for tuning in for this
Thank you.
episode of Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks. If you're looking for other ways to grow your business or strengthen your business, or just looking to know more about what's going on in our community, make sure to check out our other podcast episodes. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube, all the
Y'all love the
places.
YouTube.
So y'all like, subscribe, follow, all the things. Until next time, we will see you. Love you. Bye.